Hi everyone, welcome back to Al's Kitchen. I hope you've all had a great summer. Well, now I'm back, I'll be sharing with you some more recipes, and today I'm going to start with a nice BIR style Chana Saag masala. If you don't like spinach, just leave the spinach out and then it will just be a Chana masala. Okay, now let's check out the ingredients. Okay, so for the Chana Saag masala, what we'll need is I've chopped here half a red onion, so this has been diced, and you want a tablespoon of garlic and ginger paste. Here I have 1 teaspoon of tomato puree. I've really watered this down. Don't worry about the amount of water, you just want it to pour into the pan. And here I have half a teaspoon of salt, a third teaspoon of turmeric powder, a heaped teaspoon of mixed powder or mild madras curry powder if you don't have your own mixed powder. Here I have half a teaspoon of black mustard seed. I have half a teaspoon of cumin seed, half a teaspoon of kashmiri red chilli powder, 2 cardamom pods cracked open, and just 2 pieces of tomato. So over here I want to suggest that you make this with some frozen spinach. It's a really good idea, it keeps in the freezer for months at a time, it locks in all the freshness as fresh spinach, and it comes in some nice little cubes. Sometimes I even put them in frozen and just let them thaw in the pan, or you can defrost them in the microwave for 4 minutes to mush them all up. So here I've got 2 cubes of frozen spinach. I buy mine from the local supermarket. It's £1.50 a bag, you can't go wrong. Well, to garnish the chana masala, I've got a small handful of chopped fresh coriander, and also for garnish chopped spring onion. Here I have 1 tin of chickpeas. These I've rinsed. Make sure you do rinse them to get rid of all the dirt and sediment. 1 tin I believe is 440 grams. And at the end we're just going to add a squirt of lemon juice. Not forgetting the all important base gravy, which is on the stove, and some oil to get the masala started. So let's get cooking. Okay, so once we've got our pan nice and hot, we want to cover the bottom with some oil. Let's get that to a nice medium to hot heat. And the first thing we're going to do is fry our whole spices. So this will be the cumin seeds, the black mustard seeds and the cardamom pods. So just season the oil with these, and when they start to pop, that's when we're going to add our onion to soften the onion. With the cardamom pods, you can take the skins off, so if you just want to smash them in a mortar and pestle, just take the black seeds out, or you can just pick them out when you're eating. The Chana Saag masala rather, is a lovely side dish. It doesn't matter whether you're a meat eater or a vegetarian or vegan. It's a beautiful side dish. It's very flavoursome, it's very filling, and because chickpeas are high in protein, they're very satisfying as well and nutritious. You know, who can't have a tin of chickpeas in the cupboard? They're so cheap as well. Okay, so now the black mustard seeds are starting to pop, and they will add a lovely flavour to this masala dish. Okay, so now they're starting to pop, add the red onion. We just want to soften the onion through, sweeten them up a bit. It's really nice to be back, guys. Yeah, I've had a little bit of a summer break. Just wanted to enjoy the summer a little bit YouTube free. I have been following on in Facebook and Twitter. I'm glad you've all hung around. And I had been cooking all through the summer, just not particularly, just not been videoing what I've been cooking. Okay, so once we've softened the onion, then we want to add the garlic and ginger paste. The reason I do the onion first is because if I do the garlic ginger paste first, it will probably burn. Do use fresh garlic and ginger, make your own paste in a whizzer. It doesn't have any preservatives, therefore it doesn't have any of that acidic vinegary aftertaste. Okay, so now I'm going to add the garlic and ginger paste. There's about a tablespoon there. Okay, so now what I've done is all the spices you saw in the list, I've put them in one container so that I can plonk them all in one go. So in go all the spices that we mentioned earlier, yeah? Okay, just fry those out for about 30 seconds. And then the next step, folks, is the tomato paste. Remember, this is made with just a teaspoon of tomato puree or concentrate, and I've just watered it down so it can just go in nicely. So there's your masala base, step one completed. Now what I want you to do is add 1 ladle of base gravy. If you don't know what base gravy is, please check out the video. Just a little tip, make sure that before you add base gravy, you've heated the base gravy through. The reason being, if you defrost it or it's served cold into this pan, you will just bring the temperature right down and you'll halt the cooking process. So make sure this is heated through so it's just hot. Okay, so you want to cook that gravy out for a minute or two. And now I want you to add a second ladle of base gravy. So let that cook through until you start to see all the little reservoirs of oil. This means that the gravy is cooked. And again, I'll say to you, it depends how moist you like your Chana Saag masala. If you want it really moist with some gravy, I would say add a 3rd ladle. If you're happy to leave it at 2, that's fine, but experiment along the way. I tend to make my masala base and my gravy first, and then I add my chickpeas. Okay, so add half a teaspoon of salt. Going to give that a taste. Splendid. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the spinach. Again, if you like more spinach, add more spinach. If you don't want spinach, leave it out. Then it's just chana masala. There you go, look at that. Look at that lovely beautiful spinach in the masala base. Anyway, last but not least, the all important chickpeas. Just going to add just a touch more base gravy. Turn all that in, and you want to cook this for about 5 minutes to soften the chickpeas through. And just turn that down to a medium heat. And I'm going to throw in my tomatoes, my sliced tomato. And just a touch of the coriander that we prepared. It's so simple, guys. There's really no reason why you shouldn't be cooking this every week. Sometimes I'll just have a bowl of this on its own. Okay, so you want to let this cook for around 5 minutes. I'll be back. Okay folks, so 5 minutes is up and this is ready to be served. But before we do, I'm just going to give it a little squirt of lemon. Only a touch of lemon, really not too much. That's enough. And just another added tip, if you like your Saag masala on the sweet side, just add a pinch of sugar. Indian restaurants do this all the time. And it just counterbalances some of the flavours. Give that a mix. Now it's time to serve up. So you'll find there's more than enough for two. If you want more, just double up all the ingredients. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I've enjoyed making the video. There we go. Just going to garnish that with a little bit of fresh chopped coriander and also garnish it with just a little spring onion. Feel free to garnish it as you wish. So let me grab a spoon and now it's time for the all important taste test. There you go. And here we go. That is delicious. Absolutely delicious. Please follow along this recipe. Guarantee you won't regret it. I'm sure it'll be one of the best Chana Saag masalas you've tasted. Putting the fresh coriander on top really gives it a very lovely tinge of citrus and also the spring onion. But feel free to garnish this any way you wish. I'm Al and I'm out of here, but please subscribe if you haven't done so already and I'll be teaching you how to cook some more lovely side dishes, curries and starters. Bye!